Next set of problems asks to write an inequality for the situation. At most, 11 players on the field. So I have an inequality x has got to be less than, but it could also be equal to 11 players. Now, one of the things I like to do is check my solution. So at most 11 players can be on the field. I can check this by saying, well, can 10 players be on the field? Logically, that makes sense, but then let's check it in my inequality. If I plug in 10 for x, then I would have the inequality statement that says 10 is less than or equal to 11. Is that true? Yes, it is. So I have accurately set up my inequality statement. Number 14, write an inequality for this situation, taller than 48 inches. X has got to be greater than 48 inches. Number 15, I'm going to put the relevant information on the screen and read the problem. What is the area of a rectangle that has a length of 5a plus 2b and a width of 9 centimeters? So area is going to equal length 5a plus 2b times my width of 9. And now we know from our commutative property of multiplication that I can reverse the order of these because I can already kind of see that I'm going to be able to distribute here. So 9 times 5a plus 2b. And now I can very clearly see that I'm going to need to distribute. 9 times 5 is 45a plus 9 times 2 is 18b. And so my area is 45a plus 18b. We could say centimeters squared. Next problem, an equilateral triangle has an angle of measuring x minus 5. Find x if the sum of the degree of the triangles is 180 degrees. And let's come right about here. We all know that triangle has 180 degrees. And since this is an equilateral triangle, every side is equal. And every angle is equal. And if I have 3 angles that are equal, then I could say 180 divided by 3. Every angle has to be 60 degrees. And so now my expression tells me that the angle is also identified by this expression as x minus 5 degrees. Well, since I have 2 pieces of information that are equally valid, the angle is 60 degrees and the angle is x minus 5 degrees, I can set those 2 expressions or 2 terms equal to each other. X minus 5 is equal to 60 degrees. Add 5 to both sides. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. 60 plus 5 is 65. Is equal to the value of x. Now 65 is not the value of the angle, but rather the value of x within this angle. So if I plug 65 in for x, I would have 65 minus 5 is 60 degrees. Very important to notate the difference between those two. The angle degree is 60 degrees. The value of x within this angle, given the expression that was provided for us for that angle, the value of x is 65. Number 17, the side length of an equilateral triangle. Again, we're dealing with an equilateral triangle. So I know that all 3 sides are the same value. And it's telling me that one side is x plus 3. And if one side is x plus 3 and all 3 sides are the same, then I know that this side is also x plus 3 and my bottom side is also x plus 3. And so it's asking for an expression for the perimeter of the triangle. Well, I could do one of two things. I could line up these terms, x plus 3 plus x plus 3 plus x plus 3, and combine like terms. X plus x plus x is 3x. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. That is certainly one valid option. Or I can also use what I already know. I have 3 of the same term, so 3 times x plus 3 is going to give me the same 3x plus 9. Problem number 18 tells me that Jennifer went to the store and spent $6 on school supplies and received $4 back. Write an equation that represents the problem and solve. Well, we have no clue how much she started with. So we just know that she went to the store and spent $6. So it took $6 away from whatever she started with. And that left her with $4 that she was given back. So if we add 6 to both sides now, we would determine that x is equal to $10. So she went to the store with $10, spent $6, and received $4 back in change. Number 19 says the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers is 24. What are the numbers? Well, we're trying to look for what our first term is so that we can even use that to help us figure out what the rest of my terms are after that. So if I have one random term that would be an even number, and I'm looking for it using the variable x, then I would know my next even number logically. If I have 2 as my first term, then I would have 3, then I would have 4. So 2 plus 2 would be my next term. Well, here we're dealing with variable for our first term, so my second term would be x plus 2. Well, we started with 2, and 2 plus 2 gave me 4. And then from my first term, 2 plus 4 would give me my next term, 6. So using that same logic, my third term, when using a variable, would be x plus 4. By adding 2 and then adding 4, we're skipping over the odd numbers and using only the consecutive or back-to-back even numbers within a set. And this whole thing has to equal 24. And so now we can simply combine like terms. X plus x plus x is 3x. 2 plus 4 is 6. That equals 24. Subtract 6 from both sides. So positive 6 and negative 6 is 0. 24 minus 6 is 18. Divide both sides by 3. And we conclude that x is equal to 6. Now so far all we've done is found the value of x, which was my first term in my set of 3. So if my first term is 6, then I can plug x into my middle expression, which is x plus 2. So 6 plus 2, my second term is 8. And then I can plug x in my third expression, 6 plus 4, my third term is 10. So 3 consecutive numbers, in other words, even numbers that are back to back, 6, 8, and 10, add up to give me 24.